India has always been the land of gods, goddesses, and gurus with god complexes. It is where self-styled spiritual leaders built empires with a recipe as old as time. It is a land where spirituality meets spectacle. From billion-dollar ashrams to gurus with private jets, our modern-day saints seem more interested in bank accounts than the Bhagavad Gita. Welcome to the greatest magic trick ever pulled, convincing millions that salvation is just a donation away. India is a land of spirituality, a country that prides itself on its ancient traditions and deep-rooted beliefs. But amidst all this innocent faith, there is a growing phenomenon that raises serious questions: the blind following of self-proclaimed religious gurus and babas. These so-called spiritual leaders command massive fan followings, wielding influence that can change lives, but often for the wrong reasons. Politicians often become their main prey because these babas carry their vote banks. Plus, these so-called spiritual leaders are protected by a force that no one dares to touch in this country: religion. From Osho to Dhirendra Brahmachari to Chandra Swami to Sai Baba to Gurmeet Ram Rahim to Asaram Bapu to Mada Amridandamai to Sadguru, Nityananda, Bhageshwar Dham to Aniruddhacharya, these crafty businessmen and women have made literal puppets of even our prime ministers. While a few of them have attained their samadhi and a couple of them are cooling their heels behind bars, there was the next generation of fake gurus to take their place. Just as one set of fake gurus faded away, new ones sprang up like weeds in an untended garden. And like leeches, they preyed on the gullibility of the people, and they continue to drain this country's blood and brains. Earlier gurus and sons used simple magic tricks and their political clout to get them followers. Today, that is no longer needed. A simple trick of stopping a rotating ceiling fan can make you a godman in this country today.
ಲಡ್ಡು ಮುತ್ಯನ ಅವತಾರ ಈಗಿನ ಸಂಚಾರಿ ದೇವರ ಲಡ್ಡು ಮುತ್ಯನ ಅವತಾರ ಈಗಿನ ಸಂಚಾರಿ ದೇವರ ಸಂಚಾರ ಮಾಡುತ್ತ ಭಕ್ತರ ಮನೆಯ ಬೆಳಕನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಯಾರ ಅವರೇ ಲಡ್ಡು ಮುತ್ಯಾರ ಅವರೇ ಲಡ್ಡು ಮುತ್ಯಾರ.
In a country brimming with intelligence and innovation, why are millions still falling for these modern-day snake oil salesmen? Sit tight as we unravel this grand illusion of blind faith in today's video. So please get some chai pakodas and enjoy the show. Hi, I am Anand and you're watching my channel Pale Blue Thoughts, where I unravel the mysteries of science while debugging pseudoscience and irrational content on social media. In ancient times, sages or babas used to be old men with white beards and white hair. Wisdom was often associated with age. All the sages in ancient mythology were mostly men who were past their prime. Then entered a new set of middle-aged men who wielded the same religious power to influence and trick people into believing them. Pretty soon, we had younger men and women who were joining the bandwagon of treachery. Baba Ramdev, Aniruddhacharya, Nityanand and Bhageshwar Dham are prime examples. Age was no longer a criteria for being a guru. Then came the social media age, and the ages of babas seem to be shrinking even further. Now we are seeing kids as young as 3 years to 10 years dishing out religious gyan as if it's nobody's business. Abhinav Arora, Bhakt Bhagwan Das, Jia Kishori, Dev Chitra Lekha, Neha Saraswar, Pala Kishori, Devi Krishna Priya. Oof, the list goes on and it's endless. They go under the brand name Katha Vachaks, storytellers. These spiritual entrepreneurs have rebranded religion into a business where blind faith is the currency and critical thinking is banned. And they cannot be questioned. Why? Because examining them and doubting their intentions would unravel the carefully woven web of manipulation. And you can't dare question them. Why? Because for one, they are children, and two, criticizing them means criticizing the religion that they are preaching. Nope, not allowed. Nothing is easier than getting branded as an anti-national or anti-Hindu if you raise a question against these snake oil babas or sons. Lately, one of these babas, Abhinav Arora, has been in the news for a lot of wrong reasons. YouTube is filled with different people making videos about him, some roasting him, some ridiculing him, and some calling him as a fake. That is fine. You have all the rights to make any video that doesn't violate YouTube's policies. And so, I wanted my video to be different from theirs. When I was sitting down to make this video, I had 4 things which I didn't want to do in this video. One is to troll anyone by adding unnecessary memes or edited clips. No offense, I do find some memes extremely funny and artistically done, but most of it is made to tarnish a person or persons, and I'm against this woke and cancel culture. So if you have come to watch some funny memes or roast video of these babas, then I'm sorry. You may skip this video now. Second, I don't want to shame any of the young boys and girls who have been clearly manipulated and brainwashed by their parents for the sake of earning name and fame and money. They are young kids, and so my rant is not against them. And I won't resort to name calling or body shaming them in any way. Thirdly, I watched a lot of videos where other YouTubers were seen trolling the kids and calling them out as fake babas. Most of the YouTubers were pissed off because they felt that these kids were showing their religion in a bad light. Their religion was being made a mockery of in front of the world, and that they are disrespectful of the Sanatan Dharma. Well, I don't care 2 hoots about Sanatan Dharma, or for that matter any other religion. So in this video, you won't find me talking about how the kids are disrespecting any religion. Religion is blind faith, and I have no respect for anything that doesn't have evidence. And so you won't find me saying how these kids should study the spiritual books and become as learned as some other so-called acharyas in this country. I am of the opinion that these so-called real gurus are as fake as any other, since what they are selling is snake oil, period. And lastly, you won't find me trying to balance things out by showing clips from other religions, which is what some other YouTubers have done. I am here to call out the so-called baby babas who preach the Hindu religion, and I will stick to only them in this video. So if you are one who gets hurt if anyone trolls your religion, then to skip this video. And now, if you're someone who hasn't skipped the video yet, then this video is for you. So what is all this hullabaloo with this Abhinav Arora? Well, this kid has been taking center spot in the Baba market for some time now. His many videos have gone viral where he's seen dancing, drinking lassi in Vrindavan, taking a dip in some holy river and enjoying what he calls as bhakti. In between, there were also some videos which showed that he was merely acting out a part so that his reels would get noticed. So he was heavily trolled for those videos, and the cat was out of the bag. Many people realized that what they were thinking was bhakti was actually a carefully scripted marketing ploy. What was supposed to look cute slowly turned into cringe. Then came the big expose from a YouTuber named Only Desi, which stirred up the hornet's nest. Ankit Patel did some extensive research and found that Abhinav's dad used to run a business called Faluda Express, where he duped several people of their money. Then he tried to market himself by making videos and even appearing on TEDx as a motivational speaker. Both these business ventures failed miserably, so he took up his next startup to make his own son as his product and get some quick bucks out of it. And thus, he changed the poor boy's get-up and made him into a spiritual guru. Not just any guru, but Abhinav soon became India's youngest spiritual orator who was honored by Cabinet Minister Nitin Gadkari. Now, the scene was set. Next was the release of hundreds of reels where Abhinav was seen portraying bhakti to mainly Krishna and to some extent Shiva, Rama and other gods from the Indian mythology. This was a clever marketing ploy which targeted to exploit the blind faith that almost all Indians have in their genes towards their religion. Add to that the current political climate in India, which has turned the country saffron. Add some tablespoons of andhbhakts who would not listen to rhyme or reason but will follow anyone who supports their religious ideologies. Now garnish the entire thing with podcasters and news channels who are ready to show any content just to boost their TRP, and you have a simmering dish ready to be served hot on Instagram and YouTube. And as expected by Abhinav's dad Tanuj Arora, the audience lapped it up. A new Instagram Baba was born. Abhinav gained quite a lot of popularity and started calling himself as the elder brother of Krishna, and that he plays with Krishna all day and he comes and sits with him when he is learning his adhyatmic or spiritual stuff.
तो आप भगवान कृष्ण की किस रूप की भक्ति करते हैं?
मैं श्री कृष्ण को अपने छोटे भाई के रूप में बचता हूँ। उनके साथ बातें करना, मस्ती करना, आनंद करना मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है। जब मैं शास्त्र पढ़ता हूँ तब वो भी मेरे साथ बैठ जाते हैं सुनने के लिए। जब कहीं मैं बाहर जाता हूँ तब वो भी मेरी उंगली पकड़ देते हैं साथ चलने के लिए, और वो भी मेरे साथ चल पड़ते हैं। मुझे भी उनका बड़ा भाई होने के नाते उनका ध्यान रखना पड़ता है, और वो भी छोटे भाई होने के नाते मुझे खूब सारा प्यार भी देते हैं।
और कहते हैं आपकी भगवान कृष्ण से भी आपकी मुलाकात हुई है, आपके छोटे भाई हैं, आप लोग स्कूल में मिलते हैं, ये सत्य है?
श्री कृष्ण जी को मैं अपने छोटे भाई के रूप में भजता हूँ।
लेकिन मिलते कहाँ पे? ये भी दावा करते हो ना कि आपकी मुलाकात होती है उनसे।
हमारे घर पर राधिका गोविंद जी हैं।
आपने कहा था कि आपकी उनसे एक स्कूल में मुलाकात होती है, क्या मुलाकात होती है?
नहीं।
तो आपने ये दावा क्यों किया था कि भगवान कृष्ण से आप मिलते हैं?
ऐसा कभी नहीं कहा।
His parents even made reels where Abhinav was seen dressing up dolls of Krishna and Radha and was seen feeding them food. Even hit and run cows were not spared. Cringe to the power of infinity. But soon, some people started trolling him for not going to school.
आज भी स्कूल नहीं गया, आज भी स्कूल नहीं गया।
So Papa Arora made Beta Arora sit on some podcast and made him say the same scripted lines again and again.
अरे आप कह रहे हैं कि आप स्कूल नहीं गई। अरे मैं स्कूल जाता हूँ, लेकिन अभी ऐसी स्थिति आ गई है कि इन लोगों की वजह से मैं स्कूल नहीं जा पा रहा हूँ।
Then people started trolling him for another video where he was seen saying that his mom makes him chicken to eat.
मम्मी खाना बनाती है गरम गरम, खुद नॉनवेज नहीं खाती लेकिन मेरे लिए चिकन बनाती है।
To be honest, I don't see anything wrong with that. Children should eat good protein sources and chicken is such a source. But the Sanatanis could not stand to hear that their favorite Bal Sant was eating chicken. This was against their religious sentiments. Then came the next twist in the tale. A senior, older spiritual guru chucked him out of a religious satsang for acting too much in front of him.
A few minutes later.
राजा रामचंद्र भगवान की।
आप पर नीचे जाओ, इनको करो नीचे, पर इनको मर्यादा है मेरी। चलो भाई।
In a later interview, the senior saint called him a moork or a fool.
अभिनव अरोड़ा इतना मूर्ख लड़का है वो कहता है कि कृष्ण उसके साथ पढ़ता है, भगवान के उसके साथ पढ़ेंगे।
Everyone thought that this was the end game, but Papa Arora had other plans. So out came the paid podcast where the Beta Arora was heard saying that he took the senior seer's scolding as Ashirwad or blessings.
उन्होंने मुझे मूर्ख कहा। मेरे को तो बहुत गर्व है कि इतने बड़े महाराज जी ने मुझे मूर्ख के रूप में आशीर्वाद स्वरूप भी मैंने पाया।
I mean, this is the same seasoned sage who cried on an Instagram video saying that a 3-year-old Ram came and took him to the loo for him to pee.
उत्तर प्रदेश के उन्नाव में मेरी कथा थी, उसमें मुझे टेंट में रहना पड़ा था। प्रातः काल का समय था, सभी विद्यार्थी, हमारे उत्तराधिकारी, सभी लोग अपने अपने कार्य में व्यस्त थे। सहसा मुझे लघु शंका की आवश्यकता, मैं मार्ग भूल गया। स्पष्ट देखा मैंने कि एक सुंदर बालक 3 वर्ष का वो मेरा हाथ पकड़कर मुझे बाथरूम में ले जा रहा है, और वह मेरी क्रिया संपन्न होने के पश्चात फिर लाकर मुझे बिस्तर पर बिठा रहा है। जब मैंने उसे पकड़ना चाहा तो मुझसे दूर हो गया। आज भी उस शोभा को देखकर मैं अपने को भूल नहीं पाता।
all birds of the same feather living in the same fantasy world. And so, this saga continues. For someone who was heard parroting the words, "Mujhe fatak nahi padta," is now supposed to be moving the court against only Desi and some YouTubers who made videos against him. Well, if you look at the long list of YouTubers who have already made videos against them, they will probably spend all their money earned through Instagram and YouTube on court cases. Now, Abhinav is not the only popular baby sant on social media. Look at this young ISKCON guru who is the next sant in making.
हमारे दिल में भगवान है पर वो दिखते नहीं है। जब हम भक्ति करेंगे बहुत भगवान श्री कृष्ण की सेवा करेंगे तो हमें भगवान श्री कृष्ण दिखने लग जाएंगे।
अच्छा, तो आप तो अपनी बचपन से मतलब अपनी छोटी सी उम्र से, अभी तो आप बहुत छोटे हो, अभी से ही भक्ति कर रहे हो कृष्ण की। कभी भगवान जी से मुलाकात हुई आपकी?
हाँ जी, हो गई।
हो गई? अरे वाह, कैसे हुई, क्या बात हुई, जरा बताओ हमें भी।
जब मैं अपनी माता के पेट में था तो मैंने कृष्णा से प्रॉमिस किया था जब मैं इस संसार में आऊंगा तो मैं भगवान श्री कृष्ण की भक्ति करूंगा।
He is only 4 years old, and at a time when he should be learning ABCD, he is chanting slokas from the Gita. And he says he despises going to school and attends a Gurukul, where I'm sure they teach him spirituality, religiosity, and fictional stories with outdated morals.
स्कूल के बारे में बताइए, लोग ये भी जानना चाहते हैं।
मैं स्कूल नहीं जाता, मैं गुरुकुल जाता हूँ, क्योंकि स्कूल में भगवत गीता का ज्ञान नहीं दिया जाता, केवल भौतिक दिया जाता है। तो इसलिए आप भी भौतिक स्कूल मत जाइए। स्कूल में टीचर को बोलो, नहीं मुझे भौतिक ज्ञान मत सिखाओ, मुझे भगवत गीता का ज्ञान भी सिखाओ। अपने साथ भगवत गीता लाना और उनको देना, और फिर वो आपको पढ़ाएंगे।
शाबाश बेटा, बहुत बढ़िया मुन्ना।
All he seems to do is to chant bhajans the whole day and dance to the tunes of his parents and followers. And people think it is very cute and fall on his feet at an age where he himself is barely finding his feet.
Congratulations, Bhagwan Das.
Child prodigy.
At the Ayush TV National Health Awards, we honor an extraordinary individual, Bhagwan Das, whose words have uplifted and inspired countless lives from a young age. As a child prodigy, Bhagwan Das' natural ability to touch hearts through his wisdom and insight was evident early on. Thoughtful words filled with positivity and depth continue to encourage people to seek a balanced and meaningful life. He has a unique gift for guiding others towards inner peace and clarity, helping them discover their own strength and purpose. On receiving the Ayush TV Health Excellence Award for your remarkable contribution to spreading wellness and positivity.
Now let me come to the crux of my video and give you my opinion on this baby baba culture. Let's face it, life is tough. You got bills to pay, your business is not helping, you have heartbreaks to heal and bosses to please. In walks a guru saying, "Forget your worries, just chant my name and all will be fine." And boom, people are sold faster than discounted Diwali sweets. People often seek guidance during the times of emotional turmoil or uncertainty. Fake gurus capitalize on this vulnerability by offering simple feel-good answers to life's complex problems. When life gets tough, many look for quick fixes. Fake gurus present themselves as saviors, promising miracles, wealth, or even salvation. Their confidence and charisma create an illusion of divine power. When people are stressed or lost, they look for simple solutions. Gurus tap into this emotional vulnerability, offering quick fixes for complex problems. It is like a spiritual version of those miracle weight loss ads. Except this time, it is not your waistline shrinking, it is your already dwindling bank balance. Social media has taken the guru game to the next level. Forget years of austerity in the Himalayas. Today's gurus are armed with ring lights, editing apps, and hashtags. Want inner peace? Click subscribe. Want prosperity? Click share. Want salvation? Click buy now. In the age of social media, gurus aren't just spiritual, they are influencers. From reels to hashtags, they crack the algorithm of this country. Religion sells. Who needs deep philosophy when you have got snazzy videos and a million likes? This isn't spirituality, it is marketing 101. They are the influencers of the divine, except their product is invisible and conveniently unprovable. Social media algorithms push their content to vulnerable people. If you have Googled how to find happiness, your feed will soon be flooded with gurus claiming to have the secret formula. It is a spiritual clickbait. In today's digital world, marketing plays a huge role. These self-proclaimed gurus have mastered the art of social media. Professionally produced videos, inspirational quotes, and mass online campaigns help them build credibility. Many of these gurus use the algorithms and psychological tricks to target vulnerable individuals. The more you engage, the more their content appears on your feed, reinforcing their supposed divinity. These days, gurus don't just preach, they brand. Instagram Reels, YouTube ads, X wisdom, they are everywhere. Almost all gurus even sell merchandise. Who knew enlightenment could be delivered in the form of a picture of a leg of a sad guru? And they are masters of inventing cures from Gomutra to yoga.
शुद्ध देसी गाय के गोबर से यदि आप स्नान करते हैं, गोबर को शरीर में मलते हैं और मल मल के शरीर नहाते हैं, चेहरे पर भी यदि आप गोबर, शुद्ध देसी गाय का गोबर यदि उसको रगड़ते हैं चेहरे पर और उससे स्नान करते हैं, तो त्वचा संबंधी जितने रोग हैं वो समाप्त हो जाते हैं.
Everything is a business. And who is paying for all these? You, the public. Gurus often preach pseudoscience, from magical cures to bizarre claims about the cosmos.
गाय का मूत्र पीने के फायदे क्या है? इस धरती में एक बीमारी है जिसका नाम है कैंसर, जिसका लगभग कोई इलाज नहीं है. उस कैंसर जैसी बीमारी से कोई बचा सकता है तो गाय का मूत्र बचाता है. कैंसर से लड़ने की क्षमता गौमूत्र में है.
And people believe it. Humans are drawn to the confidence even when it is baseless. A guru's charisma can overshadow their lack of evidence. Add spiritual jargon and it feels scientific. So here is why I think people fall for these religious charlatans. From childhood, Indians are steeped in religious practices and rituals. Religion is often intertwined with family values and social customs. Childhood indoctrination is part of most children's upbringing. Parents do it like it's some ritual. Questioning faith or religious authority can be viewed as being disrespectful or rebellious. As a result, even educated individuals carry this deeply ingrained reverence for social figures well into adulthood. Secondly, the Indian education system prioritizes rote memorization and exam success over fostering inquiry, skepticism, or independent thinking. While someone may excel academically, they may not have developed the tools to critically evaluate claims made by religious figures. This gap is fertile ground for blind faith. Being religious is often equated with being moral and good in the Indian society. Conversely, atheism or questioning religious practices can invite isolation, ridicule, or even hostility. Being a Gnostic or an atheist or even non-religious is shunned by the society. You are forced to jump on the bandwagon or prepare to be intimidated by the people around you. Many educated people follow religious norms or gurus to avoid upsetting family, friends, or colleagues, even if they have personal doubts. Humans are social beings and conformity is a powerful force. When friends, family, or colleagues follow a particular Baba or Sant, even educated individuals feel pressured to join in. Nobody wants to be the odd one out, especially in a culture where community ties are strong. Atheism is often stigmatized in India as something negative or at times immoral. Educated individuals may fear being labeled as soulless or unethical if they reject religiosity. Following a Baba becomes a way to maintain societal acceptance while avoiding the tough questions about faith. Additionally, life in India can be stressful with uncertainties around finances, health, relationships, and careers. Gurus often offer simple, soothing solutions to life's complexities. Mantras, rituals, prayers to help people feel in control. This emotional comfort can override critical thinking, making even educated individuals susceptible to following Babas. Little do they realize that these Babas and sons are taking them for a ride and they offer no real solutions. Many Indians equate preserving religious traditions with preserving their cultural identity. Following gurus and participating in satsangs are often seen as acts of respect for one's heritage, making people reluctant to question these practices even when they border on absurdity. Today's Babas and sons are not spiritual leaders, they are master marketers. They use social media, flashy events, and even scientific sounding jargon to attract followers. Gurus like Sadhguru or Nityananda try to blend spirituality with modern ideas, giving their teachings an air of credibility that appeals to even the educated. Gurus often cloak their teachings in pseudo-scientific language, often making them appealing to educated individuals who wants to reconcile faith with science. Claims about energy vibrations, quantum healing, or ancient wisdom being validated by modern science create an illusion of credibility. Now, many educated Indians are aware that certain practices or claims made by gurus are illogical.
मोर कभी भी शारीरिक संभोग नहीं करते। उन्हें संतानें कैसे होती है? मोर रोते हैं, आंसू गिरते हैं, मोरनी उस आंसू को पीती है और उससे उन्हें संतान।
However, admitting this would mean challenging their upbringing, beliefs, or even their sense of self. Instead, they choose to rationalize their faith or ignore inconsistencies to avoid inner conflict. They fall into the pit called cognitive dissonance. We all saw that when some people took to trolling the Laddu Mutya boy, right? The number of reels that came out trolling the poor, intellectually disabled boy was huge. But the same people would gladly fall at the feet of another Baba without thinking too much. Remember the film PK? People sat in theaters and laughed at the antics of the alien from outer space. Little did they realize that they were laughing at themselves. Once the lights came on inside the cinemas, people forgot everything and moved on in life as if nothing happened. No lessons learned. Religion and spirituality are woven into India's political, social, and economic fabric. Seeing political leaders, celebrities, or even scientists publicly endorsing religious figures reinforces the idea that following Babas is normal, even aspirational. Many educated Indians romanticize ancient Indian culture and spirituality, believing it holds answers to modern problems. Gurus capitalize on this sentiment by framing themselves as custodians of this lost wisdom, making them appealing to those who take pride in their heritage. And last, but certainly not the least, Indian cinema and TV often glorify spiritual leaders, portraying them as wise, selfless souls who offer guidance to live your life. This false narrative is often taken up by the media, and they portray the gurus as if they need to be kept on a pedestal. The social media is even worse in this matter. I mean, look at the number of illogical podcasts that give space and time to astrologers, numerologists, Vastu consultants, people who believe in black magic, Tona Totka, and all other kinds of superstitions and pseudoscience.
राहु में सिर्फ आपको वॉशरूम क्लीन करना है अपना, वेडनेसडे को और सैटरडे को अपना पॉट खुद साफ कर दो, अपना वॉशरूम जहाँ पे नहाते हो रोज वाइपर खुद मारना है, सुखा के रखना है वॉशरूम को, और स्मेल नहीं आनी चाहिए वॉशरूम से, कुछ भी अच्छा रूम फ्रेशनर कुछ भी अपना वहाँ पर लगा दो, है ना। और एक कटोरी में एक फिटकरी, एक खड़ा नमक जो रॉक सॉल्ट रहता है बड़ा वाला, गली वाला, और 5 लौंग फूल वाली, वो रख दो। एवरी सैटरडे चेंज कर दो, फ्लश आउट कर दो, फिर रख दो नया वाला, ऐसे करना है।
और वो फ्री में सुन के मालामाल हो गए।
बिल्कुल, और आपको ना ऐसी चीजें लिखित में दे सकते हो कि ये सब चीजें अगर आप करेंगे तो आपको पैसा 100% पैसा आएगा।
It boggles my mind how such people gain followers and likes on social media. It's preposterous, it's shameful, it's a huge blot on human intelligence. To know the difference between ideologies and ways of thinking, see these 2 videos.
So I heard also that you like scientists now. That's your new thing, is you're like following scientists?
Yes, I got a book from the bookstore and it had scientists in it.
You're 6, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the book you bought as a book about scientists?
Yes.
Okay, who is that?
That guy has a fancy name, but I think I need to pronounce it like this. It's French. Antoine Lavoisier. Recognized and named hydrogen and oxygen on the periodic table, but he's best known for knowing what oxygen does in combustion.
Wow, okay. And who is this?
That's Daniel Bernoulli.
Oh, that's right. And what is he known for?
His principle explains how airplanes fly. It's because of the shape of the wing. The wing is shaped so that the air flows faster over the top of the wing and slower underneath.
Yes, and who's this?
That's Galileo. One of his discoveries was about motion. Something only has to be pushed or pulled if there is a force slowing it down. So if you had a ball on the ground would create friction and the air would create the drag. But if that same ball were up in space, it would keep going without having to be pushed or pulled.
And who's this right here?
That's Isaac Newton.
Tell us about Isaac Newton.
Newton discovered the law of gravity. He even worked out a math version of his discovery to predict how the moon, comets, and planets move.
हरे कृष्णा भागवत प्रभु।
हरे कृष्णा माता जी।
भागवत प्रभु, लोग कहते हैं खाली हाथ आए हैं और खाली हाथ ही चले जाएंगे, क्या ऐसा है क्या?
ऐसा नहीं है, कोई भी व्यक्ति खाली हाथ नहीं जाता है, कोई भी व्यक्ति खाली हाथ नहीं आता है। जब हम जन्म लेते हैं तो हमारे कर्म हमारे साथ आते हैं और जब हम शरीर त्यागते हैं तो हमारे कर्म हमारे साथ जाते हैं। जब आपको कुछ लेके ही जाना है तो कुछ अच्छे कर्म लेके जाओ ना।
Kids roughly the same age. One is thorough with reality and the other is embroiled in fictional stories and characters from comic books. One is mastering science while in this country we are happy listening to stories even at an age where we should have grown out of it. Some say these stories contain morals on how to live your life. Well, I have read these stories and let me tell you, no Gita, no Quran or Bible holds any morals that we have any use for in today's world. They were all written centuries ago and has the knowledge and morals of people in those times. Morality keeps changing and hence it is illogical to look for morality in a book written centuries ago. Now, my final take on this subject is this. It is not right to criticize the baby sons for their actions, for their actions are directed by their business-minded parents. Boys like Bhagwan Das or Abhinav are puppets in the hands of their parents. They have been told to act in a certain manner for fame and Instagram likes. Now, should their parents be blamed? Well, in my opinion, not entirely. Because they have unlocked the algorithm of this country. They know what sells on social media. They're just exploiting that. They have put their own children out on social media with a for sale board. The real culprits are the general public who give them the attention and the money that they want. You, the viewer, is what gives them the opportunity to do what they're doing right now. The media houses who give space and time to these baby sons should also be blamed. The media, government, and their machinery play a significant role in endorsing young children as babas, turning them into symbols of divine authority rather than questioning the exploitation behind such practices. By glorifying child gurus through news coverage, public appearances, and political endorsements, they legitimize these exploitive traditions, robbing the child of a normal upbringing. Politicians seeking votes often align with such figures, while regulatory bodies turn a blind eye, allowing the cycle of superstition and manipulation to thrive unchecked. Instead of protecting these children, they are helping to continue a harmful and backward system. Children, or so-called babas, would do much better with proper schooling instead of being stuck in traditional gurukuls that focus on old rituals and blind obedience. Modern education teaches critical thinking, practical skills, and how to question superstitions instead of spreading them. Schools expose kids to different ideas, helping them grow into independent and well-rounded individuals. Instead of being forced to carry the burden of divinity, proper schooling gives them a chance to find their potential and contribute to the society and to break free from such exploitations. If you are one of those who blindly follow child babas on Instagram and other social media, stop and think. Every like, share and comment you give these so-called divine children fuels the cycle of exploitation and ignorance. You are not indulging a curiosity, you are promoting a system that denies these kids a real childhood, proper education and freedom of choice. By giving them screen time, you are legitimizing superstition over science. Instead of amplifying their platforms, focus on supporting rational voices and institutions that prioritize education, critical thinking, and the well-being of children. Stop being the part of the problem. It is time to be part of the solution. When the buying stops, the killing will. Blind faith is the main reason for the rise of Babas in India. People follow these gurus without questioning them, which spreads superstition and holds this country back. This blind trust harms society by encouraging fake beliefs and exploitation. Rational people should speak up, question such practices, and promote critical thinking. By spreading awareness and encouraging others to think logically, we can help move the society forward. Tell me, what do you think about these baby babas and how they manipulate the people in this country? Do you have any solutions for eradicating this country of such irrational superstitions and pseudoscience? Let me know in the comments. I know it has been a longer video than usual, but I really wanted to do this one and didn't want to miss out on explaining everything about what I feel about this topic. And oh, by the way, if you want to tag me as an anti-Hindu, here is what I had to say about that.
तो उनको कहना है जो उनको कहने दो, मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि ज़माना क्या कहता है.
Sorry, I just couldn't resist it. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. See you very soon on yet another episode uncovering some illogical aspect of a religion or something scientific. I know my videos have been far and few these days. However, I promise that you will get at least 2 videos a week for sure from now on. So, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so now. And if you like my content, please contribute via Super Thanks or by becoming a member. Options are in the description. Until we meet again, stay scientific.